What's going on, YouTube? We are doing an oil change, so let's go ahead and dive into this, starting off with what you will need. Obviously, you will need oil and an oil filter, a socket and socket wrench. As far as the socket goes, it will depend on your vehicle, but for my truck and car, they both take around a 14 millimeter. You'll also want a rag, a funnel, an oil filter wrench, a drain catch pan, a jack stand, and a wheel chock. So if you have a smaller vehicle or a car, you might also need a jack and jack stand. Now, if you have never changed your oil before and this is your first time, you can get information inside of your owner's manual. This will be inside of your glove box. The owner's manual basically tells you what kind of oil that you will need for your car. Some auto manufacturers also include the oil weight on the actual oil cap itself, but inside of your owner's manual, you will be able to find this information as well. So for my Hyundai Accent, I can use 530, 540, 10W30, 10W40, 10W50, and it takes around 3.5 quarts with the oil filter. As for my Nissan Titan, this one it takes 5W30, and it takes around 6.5 quarts with the oil filter. Now, this step is optional. You do not have to do this. I like to use something like Seafoam. Basically, I just add around a half a can, maybe a little bit less, to the motor, and then I go and drive the truck or car around for a few days. I normally do this because my commute to work is very short, so it's around 20 miles each day. So I'll basically throw this in there on like a Tuesday or a Wednesday, drive the car back and forth to work, and then do an oil change on a Saturday. What I would recommend is to drive the car around your neighborhood or around town for a couple of minutes and then do the oil change. This way it'll get the oil a little warm, so this way it's easier to drain. So once you do that, go ahead, pop the hood. And what I like to do is remove the oil filler cap as well as the dipstick. This just helps to relieve some of the pressure inside of the motor. Crawling underneath, you can go ahead and loosen your oil drain plug. Now I will show you here with some slides on how to differentiate between the transmission pan and the oil pan. So on my Nissan Titan, the oil pan is towards the front of the truck and my transmission pan is behind that. It is also connected to the transmission. So if you're looking at something that is maybe rear wheel drive or like a V8 or V6, that is maybe a rear wheel drive, you will see your transmission pan towards the back of the vehicle. The transmission may also be either silver or black, and then your oil pan will also be molded and painted black as well. Now on my Hyundai Accent, on the passenger side, you can see my oil pan, and on the driver side, you can see where my manual transmission is. So it's pretty easy to differentiate between those two. Now, after all the oil has drained out, go ahead and check the washer on this. I reuse it if it looks like it is in good condition. Most mechanics and most shops will probably replace this anytime they do an oil change for you. So you can also replace this every time you do an oil change. You can get a package of these at like AutoZone or O'Reilly's for about $6 to $10. Go ahead and reinsert the oil drain plug like I mentioned. And then as far as tightening this goes, you really don't need a lot of force. You basically just want to get it on there hand tight at first and then just snug it up with your socket. Now, not every vehicle will have one of these, but I actually have a shield underneath that I have to remove to gain access to my oil filter. So I have to go ahead and remove this. This takes a 12 millimeter bolt. So basically I'd have to undo 6 bolts and then remove that. Go ahead and grab your oil filter wrench and remove the oil filter. It might be a little tight, so you might have to use a little bit of force to get it off. Normally, you only want to hand tighten your oil filters. What I assume over time probably makes that gasket expand. And what I like to do is I like to just unthread it a little bit and let most of the oil drain out. And then once it looks like it starts to slow down, I then remove the full oil filter. Once you have removed the oil filter, you can then go ahead and grab a clean rag and go ahead and wipe down the surface where the oil filter mates to. So I'm just going to wipe down my oil cooler. And this next step is controversial. I like to add a little bit of fresh oil to the new filter. And then I'm going to take some fresh oil and go around the gasket just to make sure that I don't have any leaks when I install my new oil filter. And really quick, just taking a look inside, you can see that this oil filter has already started to absorb a lot of that oil. So this way, when you do go to start the vehicle, it doesn't run dry. If there's any residual oil, just go ahead and wipe that down the best that you can before you install the new filter. Go ahead and install your new filter by twisting it. If it should be able to spin like this pretty easily. If it doesn't feel like it's going on correctly and it's not spinning really free, then back that out and try it again, because you do not want to put this on incorrectly and have it start to leak. Once I get the oil filter hand tight, I then take a rag and just make sure it is pretty snug on there. Obviously, you're trying not to over tighten this. You don't want to use an oil filter wrench to tighten these. After you install the oil filter, you can then go ahead and grab some brake clean if you want and just kind of clean up everything underneath and then wipe it down with a clean rag. And at this point, you can go ahead and start to fill up the motor with some fresh oil. Now, like I mentioned, my truck takes 6.5 quarts. I've gotten pretty good free-handing the oil into the block without using a funnel, and then when it comes to the 5 quart, I will grab my funnel, just go ahead and fill that up. Obviously, if your car takes 3.5 quarts, go ahead and buy 4 quarts, make it a little bit easier. Like on my Hyundai, I buy 4 quarts, I add 3 full quarts, and then half of a quart. Pretty simple to do that. Once you have filled up your motor with fresh oil, you can then go ahead and put everything back together. I like to grab a clean rag, pull out the dipstick, wipe it off, and then install my oil cap. After that, go ahead and start the vehicle and let it idle for around a minute. And at this same time, while it is idling, you can then go ahead and peek underneath of the vehicle. Now, obviously, don't get your head or anything underneath of the car or truck, but you just want to make sure that your drain plug and your oil filter are not leaking at this point. So if you do notice any sort of oil leaking from either the oil filter or the oil drain plug, turn the vehicle off and inspect what's going on. Obviously, if your oil drain plug is dripping, it may more than likely be an old washer or it is missing a washer. And last but not least, you can then go ahead and recycle your oil. Now, if you own a smaller car or something like this little 4-cylinder hatchback, you may need to jack the vehicle up. You may also need a jack stand as well. You don't want to use the jack by itself as a jack stand, so grab a jack stand and install the jack stand in the proper location. Now, on this Hyundai Accent, my oil filter is towards the front of the motor. And then right underneath of that is my oil pan. So on the back side of that oil pan will be my oil drain plug. And I'm showing this to you guys because not every vehicle is going to have their oil filter and oil pan in the same place. So just be wary of that. Like I mentioned, if you have an automatic transmission, just be sure that you are not releasing your automatic transmission fluid, because that won't be a very good day. After you have let the truck idle for around a minute, go ahead, shut it off, and check your oil level. Now, my dipstick doesn't have any cross hatches, but it does have 2 little holes. The bottom hole is for the cold, and the top hole on this dipstick is for hot. So just go ahead and make sure that it should be around that first hole. And then once you are satisfied with your results, you can then go ahead and close the hood. That's it, guys. If you like this video, go ahead, give it a thumbs up, give it a like. If you didn't like this video, also give it a thumbs up. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit all the buttons. I'm Jordan, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.